tolerate poor effort and not practicing and doing things we need to do. We're not that good. We can. No one's exempt from working hard and doing things right.
Are there any plans at this point to change anything up for this weekend?
Oh yeah, we'll have a different lineup in there. We're gonna somehow find a way to hopefully get some consistency over the period of a football game.
Are you willing to say any of those names yet? Or?
No, not yet.
How would you rate Kyle Nunn's performance?
I thought for his first game he did some decent things against a pretty good defensive line. You know, they have a good group, and you know, as soon as you say something good about somebody, you know what happens the next time out. So I don't never say anything good, really.
How did he go from being buried a lot of it because of the suspension to starting at left tackle and that kind of thing?
Well, you know, he didn't start. He came in and played, but you know, I mean, he prepared, and when you get your opportunity, you don't know when it's going to be. And when you get your opportunity, you're either going to go in there and do well and seize the opportunity because you're prepared, or you're not. And you don't seize it, you probably won't get another opportunity. So if you're a number 2 guy or a number 3 guy and you get your shot, you better go in there and do something good if you want to have another one.
Was the running game in the fourth quarter because of doing something different defensively, or was it more of a point that your offensive line just wasn't doing something up to your expectations?
They weren't going to let us run the football. I mean, we just didn't execute at the end of the day in the running game, and they weren't going to let us run it.
So it's more something they did than you guys.
It's a combination of everything. I mean, you can't have mistakes.
Yeah.
You can't have mental mistakes up front. It's like playing man-to-man coverage every play, and you're playing Houston or Texas Tech. You know, let that guy get behind you, it's over, and you just can't have missed assignments. And people are creative these days. You know, they do a lot of different things, and you know, when you get tired or you're in the heat of the moment, you got to be able to respond and perform your job.
I think Coach Burrell said last week on his press conferences that Coach Wolford is finally learning what I've been saying for 4 or 5 years here regarding the offensive lines. What do you think he was referring to back then?
Just mistakes. You know, you have these little mistakes that are very elementary plays.
Yeah.
And a guy just misses it, and you wonder, what in the heck is going on? You know, and just amazing sometimes. But you know, we'll just keep coaching and trying to find a way to get them to understand that you can't have mistakes. You just cannot. At offensive line, you can't have mistakes. I mean, a receiver can run wrong route. Somebody else can have a wrong assignment, and no one will ever know. When you play offensive line, you cannot have mistakes. And you know, it's a complete understanding of the game, and defenses make it hard on you. I mean, they're going to move around and do things, but you got to react.
Did you think after 4 games you'd be further along, or about right here, or after knowing what you know from when you?
It's hard to say. You know what I mean? We're number 3 in the country. I mean, we just beat number 4 in the country. We got 3-1. Play away from beating Georgia. And we know we could have played a lot better. You know, I don't know. But, you know, we're never going to be where I want to be. You know, but you know, I like the way we're preparing as far as, you know, being students of the game and that part of it. I just think we need to perform better in the heat of the battle.
Are you surprised you had to do this much tapering even in the game?
Yeah. You know, we just don't. We don't. I mean, we don't have a. You know, I'm not sure I have enough guys that can play 70 plays a game. You know, physically, against a good defensive line.
Talking.
I mean, I'm talking about just physically be able to, nothing to do with conditioning. Shit, we're in shape. It's more the, you know, you see Georgia, they play 10 guys up front. Defensive lines are playing 8 to 10 guys, you know, and you're trying to play 5 or 7, and physically, we're not, where we need to be. So, I think some guys have got probably a 40, 50 play limit.
So you still haven't found the 8 guys that you.
Yeah, I got 7 or 8 can play.
Yeah.
I mean, Jarrell King, Kyle Nunn, Lim, Blake. I Hutchinson, Quentin, TJ, Garrett, and Boucher. I mean, those guys have all played. They've all played enough plays in the game now that we've got 8 guys that can play. Now it's just getting them to play well. Right? Every play.
Yeah. Is any of the other guys threatening to break into the group of 8, or are those pretty much right now? Those eight guys have a significant lead on the other guys.
That's probably it. Right now.
Yeah.
No
Is
one
there
else.
any line you can remember that you were coaching that you could point to and say, this is the way you guys need to, these are the way you guys need to?
Nah, I think it's just the nature of the position. You know, you go out and win a game. I mean, I think we played Minnesota one year. We had 500 yards rushing or something. I mean, you just didn't play well. I mean, it's just the nature of the position. It's never going to be. You're never going to play well.
You didn't pat him on the back after the game?
You're never going to play well. Trust me.
Did anybody grade out particularly well this last game?
TJ did all right.
TJ, yeah.
Yep.
I think he's playing pretty well for redshirt freshman.
Yeah. He's got some physical presence to him.
Is he like the one guy that's started and played the most?
He's played a whole bunch. Quentin's played a whole bunch to this last game, and then I put Kyle in there for a little bit, but we'll see. You know.
Is TJ a guy that even he's a redshirt freshman playing a lot now, being so young? I mean, you see how it's really only beginning to scratch the surface of his potential in terms of how good he can be.
Yeah, he's just got to continue to learn football. You know, understanding concepts in football, and you know, it's not second nature for him just yet, but it will be. It'll be that way.
When you were at Illinois, did you get this much, many press requests and interviews and everything?
No, I've never seen nothing like this in my life.
It's a lot had to do with, I guess, the position you took over and not just.
Well, I mean, heck, I mean, everyone knows about this position across the country, and you know, I'm excited to be here. We're going to get it. We're going to get it right, come hell or high water. I can tell you that right now.
I'm sure you're.
We're just going to find a way.
When you were interviewing for this job, was there anybody that you know in the coaching profession that thought, man, South Carolina offensive line, you're out of your mind?
Yeah, but you know, the thing is you get an opportunity to work with a Hall of Fame coach, and I love a challenge. I mean, that's right. I mean, I've been in a lot of these situations before, and I love a challenge, and we're going to find a way. Sometimes you just got to find a way.
What about the running game now? It looks like Coach Spurrier mentioned his teleconference yesterday. You want to see the running game become a little more productive. You know, you got the great game against Florida Atlantic, but you know, 65 yards against Ole Miss.
Well, you know, the thing is, I mean, a bunch of those plays were on safety, you know.
Yeah.
And, you know, first half we had some nice runs in there. Second half we just didn't hit them, and we're gonna execute a little bit better. And they were making it more difficult for us to run. I can see right now that people line up in this conference and they're like, you're not going to run football. You know what I mean? They do it the week in and week out. You know, I saw Les Miles at halftime. They asked him about his running game, you know, and just the more I'm learning about this conference, they're gonna really try to make it difficult on you, run the football.
Well, they couldn't punch in from the 4 opportunities.
I mean, that's just, you know, that's kind of what this conference is known for.
Having said that, though, you're still glad you were in Columbia on Thursday rather than Columbus on Saturday, right?
I knew what I was doing.
That's right. There you go.
I knew what I was doing.